My name is Tomo Lazovich. I am an assistant professor of the practice in AI governance and policy. I always had an interest in both physics and computer science, and I decided to go to grad school for physics, but work in a field, particle physics, that was very computation heavy. And I was working at an experiment called the Large Hadron Collider, and we had these very large data sets, and so that's how I got my experience in data science and machine learning to start, was doing this kind of scientific analysis of data coming from that experiment. And then once I finished my PhD, I decided I wanted to take those skills and use them in industry. So I worked in machine learning in industry for several years and slowly made my way to this, what I would call responsible AI or AI governance space. And that's kind of how I ended up where I am now. Research focuses on kind of the societal impacts of decisions that algorithms make in the real world.
I like to think about how people who are harmed by algorithmic systems can find remedies, whether that's like a technical remedy or a legal remedy. I spend a lot of time thinking about how to bridge like the technical side of machine learning engineers who are actually building these systems and trying to prevent those harms, and the legal and policy side, which is trying to regulate the way that tech companies can build these systems.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Just started up on a project where we're trying to understand how algorithmic systems are being used in public benefits programs in the United States. Many of these programs are now using a lot of algorithms and automated decision systems to decide eligibility for benefits or to detect fraud, but it's not very well documented which states are using what and in what parts of the process they're doing it. And so we're trying to launch kind of a massive public records campaign where we're submitting requests to get information like contracts and other documentation about how these algorithms are being used, so that we can build a database and ultimately help the people who are applying for these programs know kind of what algorithms are making decisions about them as they're going through the process. For DSI, it's a course that's cross-listed between data and computer science, which is Computer Science 1491, Fairness and Automated Decision Making. And then I'm also proposing for next fall a DSI course on AI law and policy. And then for our online master's program, I am teaching DSIO 2030, which is the Applied Learning Experience class. It's the kind of capstone project class that students take in their last semester, where they're kind of putting together a big project that synthesizes everything they've learned across their courses up to that point. But I'm trying to build it in such a way that students actually get a sense of like how a real-world socio-technical project works, and they have to think about certain things, and it's very open-ended. Really want it to be something that's actually useful for them and flexible enough to accommodate both people who are coming from more technical backgrounds and people who are coming from more like product or policy backgrounds. I find everything in my work really rewarding. I will say this semester in particular, I'm teaching a course called Fairness and Automated Decision Making, and I have really found it rewarding to be interacting with students and kind of helping teach them about the real world implications of the systems that they're building. This is their questions, and seeing things kind of click as they start to understand like, oh, this is just bigger than like some math that's running on my computer. That's been really huge for me and really rewarding to kind of see that playing out. And so I've been really grateful to be here and be able to teach them this semester.